The first process in project scope management is plan scope management. There are two outputs created in this process: requirements management plan and scope management plan. These two plans address two different sets of activities. The difference between requirements and scope in a non-technical way is that requirements are the needs and wishes of the stakeholders, and scope is what the project team will do and deliver to meet those needs and wishes of the stakeholders. The requirements management plan will have the following details. Requirements collection. How the requirements will be collected from stakeholders or otherwise. For example, interviews, focus groups, document reviews, and interface analysis. Requirements analysis. How requirements will be analyzed to uncover hidden information. Also, to find out if any requirements are unclear, ambiguous, incomplete, or contradict other requirements. For example, a requirements workshop will be conducted, or once requirements are collected and documented, then stakeholders will be asked to review and confirm if these have been captured correctly. Prioritization. There can be hundreds or even thousands of requirements collected. In one transformation project, the final list contained 3,000 requirements. It is not possible to deliver 3,000 requirements at the same time. They may have to be put into different phases. Some requirements have to be delivered first before others can be worked on. So, requirements should be prioritized. For example, requirements can be prioritized as high, medium, and low priority. The project team should be careful when sending over the list to the stakeholders, asking them to prioritize. They may be surprised by the response. All requirements are of high priority. So the point is that this should be a collaborative effort. The plan should list methods that will be used for prioritization. Tracking requirements. It is a good practice to track requirements on a list or a matrix or software. Track the state of each requirement, if it is identified, prioritized, approved, tested, or completed. The requirements management plan will say how this will be done. Tracing requirements. A requirements traceability matrix can be used to show how requirements link to project objectives on one side and the solution components on the other side. The plan will say how requirements will be traced. Now the scope management plan will have other details. Scope definition. How the scope will be defined. Who will be involved in this? Scope statement. Who will write the scope statement? Which format? Who will approve the scope statement? Then work breakdown structure. How the WBS will be built. Is there a template to use? Who will be involved in that? Deliverables. How deliverables are to be identified. Who will approve? How the approval decision will be made. Is there defined acceptance criteria or will it be created for each deliverable? Scope control. How the scope delivery will be tracked. Who will track it and check against the baseline? How scope changes are to be handled. Then validate scope. Who will accept the deliverables? What will be the method of asking for the formal acceptance of deliverables? Right, so together the scope management plan and the requirements management plan will cover the full spectrum of project scope management work.